resource person for today's workshop, Professor Monica, and dear participants. I, Dr. Tammaya, HOD of English and also Vice Principal of Padma Shri Institute of Management Sciences. It's immensely pleasure to welcome you all for this 3-day workshop on basic communication skills. Friends, communication is a fundamental to the existence and survival of humans as well as to an organization. It's a process of creating and sharing ideas, information, views, facts, feelings among the people to reach common understanding. By understanding the significance or the vital role it plays in day-to-day communication, we, Padma Shri Institute of Management and Sciences, believe that our student community should empower with good communication skill. With respect to this, our institute is organizing n number of workshops to enhance the communication skills among the student community. In this regard, we felt it is a right time, as you know, the entire globe, entire universe is suffering with a corona pandemic, and virtual classes, the virtual seminars or workshops have become inevitable for today's scenario. So as the online things are going on, online things are getting more importance, and we thought of introducing you the communication through online with experts in the field of communication. Today, it is a 3-day workshop. All of you are aware of it. So we have selected 3 experts from different colleges, undergraduate colleges, and they enhance and they enlighten you with their vast knowledge in the field of communication for 3 days. Friends, we have to communicate for what? Communicate for communicating our own things, our own needs, our own desires. So in what way and what best way we can communicate, that will be clearly enlighten you, and that will be clearly known to you within these 3 days. Hope you understand. And in this August morning, I take this opportunity to welcome our respected principal, Dr. Anuradha Madam, who is always supporting us to have this kind of workshops. A series of workshops have been conducted under the leadership of our beloved principal, Dr. Anuradha Madam. So, friends, on behalf of Padma Shri Institute of Management Sciences and the gathering, I extend a warm welcome to Dr. Anuradha, principal of Padma Shri Institute of Management Sciences. I also welcome, ma'am.
Thank you, Tamara. Thank you. Go ahead.
Yeah. And the center of attraction, the resource person of today's workshop, Professor Monica E., our language trainer, who has taken all the time to spare with you for 1 hour today to enlighten you with her vast knowledge. On behalf of Padma Shri Institute of Management Sciences, I extend a very warm welcome to you, Professor Monica. Before I hand over to Professor Monica, I just say a few words about Monica. Monica has completed her bachelor's from St. Joseph's Arts and Science College, Bangalore, bachelor's in science, and she has completed her master's degree, that is post-graduation in English literature from Maharani Arts, Commerce and Management College for Women in 2015 to 17. She is qualified TOEFL and TSSOL certification, specialization in business English. She has worked as assistant professor in English and was a co-editor for magazine of RBA and MS Degree College, Bangalore. And also, she was teaching English and also a cultural coordinator in St. Joseph's Girls PU College. She has equipped with many skills and volunteered as an English teacher in U&I Foundation for a year, worked as a co-editor in St. Joseph's GET Club, participated in national seminar on text, context, and contestations, articulation of gender identity, conducted by Maharani College, worked as a dissertation in Jisha subculture, well versed at office application and other skills she is equipped with. Currently, she is teaching communication skills to one of the leading company in Australia, and also I requested her to teach communication skills in Padma Shri as a part-time basis. So it's a pleasure to have you with us, Professor Monica, and I welcome you on behalf of Padma Shri Institute of Management Sciences for this 3 days workshop. Monica, madam, will address language skills with regard to language competency. She will speak for an hour. I think she may continue till 11 o'clock. 11 to 11:30, we'll have the questionnaires. Okay, over to Monica. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. So, good morning, everyone. First of all, I would like to thank the organizers of this webinar for giving me this opportunity to be part of this session. Thank you, Principal, ma'am. Thank you, Dr. Tamaya, sir, and all the other organizers of this webinar. Thank you so much. So, I've been with a varied group of people who are my friends, my colleagues, who are from different cultural background, region. And over time, when I see that, I've worked on improving my English language skills, like speaking skills, listening, and etc., so that I can communicate with them effectively. So today in this webinar, I'm going to talk about basics of language skills and how to improve them in your life. So I want to share my screen. If I could get the permission to share.
Yeah, please go ahead.
Yes. So, one sec. Yeah, so Sir had introduced me and he has told everything about me. And to add more about whatever Sir had told, I was basically a science student, but passion for English made me take English as my subject in masters. And I'm following my passion, and learning something about English and sharing my knowledge with others have been something which I want to achieve. And I want to inspire so many people and tell them that arts subject is not only a subject where people get into government exams, these other different kinds of places, but English has given me life. Though I can do science subjects well, but still English is my passion. And today I hope that after this webinar, you will be enlightened about the subject and you will learn much more about it. So let's begin our session today. So before I begin my session, I want you all to mute yourselves. Suppose you have any questions, you can put it in the chat box. When we have time for answering the question, I'll be answering all your questions. So if you have to interrupt me in the between, you can use the raise hand option, which is given in the Zoom. So any questions you can ask me, and I want this to be an interactive session. So when I ask you all a question, I want you all to answer me back. I do not want to talk monotonously. English is fun. So let's make this webinar fun today. Okay, so let's begin our session today. So this poster, when I saw this poster, the one thing which highlighted me, which struck me was a line says that always remember communication is key. Be nice, be polite, and make someone smile. So this line is something different. So always, most of the time, what we do is we fail to execute one of these things while we communicate. Either we are not nice to a person, either our tone, the intonation, the pitch, the way we speak may sound rude to the person who's listening to us, the listener. So they might think that we are not polite. So what do we do at the time of situation? How do we control ourselves? And somebody is talking to us, or somebody is saying something, we are just hearing to them but not actively listening. So we can hurt those people. Am I audible, Sai Krishna? Others?
Yeah, audible. Go ahead, Monica. Yeah.
Yes. So what we see is most of the time people think that we are not nice, we are not being polite. So somebody comes on the stage to give the speech for the first time. If the audience are not cooperative, maybe that person is taken back. He feel embarrassed. Already that person is feeling very inferior, telling that I'm going on the stage for the first time. I don't know how my audience will react. But if we are being a very good audience, actively listening to them, it might encourage the person who's standing before us. And that is how we are going to make someone smile. So this is what struck me. And today in this webinar, we are going to see how we are going to bring smile on somebody else's face, how we are going to make them smile by our conversation, the way we react to them, and all these things. So for any kind of communication we do, language is important. It's most and a vital part of our communication, language. So today in this webinar, let's focus on these language skills where we can be someone different. And there's another line telling that start a conversation with your classmate today. So if there are so many people in our classroom who come from different region, different background, and all those people have different motives, different things on running on their mind. So if you want to start a conversation with them, you should have a hold on the language. So today I'll be talking about English language. It implies to all other languages too. Okay, so just let me brief you about the agenda, what I'm going to be doing. Today, we are going to see difference between knowledge and skills, what actually language is, and how to improve these language skills, and what are the resources and activity through which you can improve them. So this is the agenda of the program today. So let's begin. So what is knowledge? Knowledge is something we all know. We have heard about this word since we have been learning in school days. And everybody know we have knowledge. Everyone says, have a good knowledge of the subject, have good knowledge of this particular thing. So what actually knowledge is? Knowledge is a concept refers to familiarity, awareness, or understanding something such as facts, information, descriptions, or skills, which can be transferred from one person to another, like where your teacher is teaching you and you being a student listening to her, and the knowledge from your teacher is transferred to you. Another way, it can also be self-acquired. Self-acquired in the sense through your observation, through your study. It is from your sensory input. What are sensory inputs? The ears, the eyes. You watch something, you learn. You hear something, you learn. So this is how is knowledge passed on from one person to another person. It is also, we can also tell that it is a theoretical building. It's a theoretical building block for acquiring or mastering some skill. That is what knowledge is. If you have knowledge, it is not that you're skilled in something. It's not that you know something more and you're going to execute it. Knowledge is just a theoretical information, what you get to know. And when we talk about ability and knowledge they combine together to create a skill which you'll be using in different places, in different parts, in your classroom, in your college. So that is what knowledge is. Now, if you have knowledge, does not mean that you're skilled in something else. So what are skills then? If you think knowledge is not a person, knowledge does not make you skilled, what is skill? Skill, we can say that it's an application of knowledge in particular situation. Or you can also say that it's an ability to perform a certain task or a role given specific situations. And these skills are supposed to be developed through practice. Yes, we can say that it can, somebody has knowledge about, prior knowledge about the task they are going to perform, I think they can achieve the skill, but without practice, they are not going to master that skill. Practice is more important. The more you practice, the more skilled person you will become. Of course, yes, I'll just give you an example for this. You can say that ability of playing a guitar or a musical instrument, generally, not only guitar, any musical instrument. You have a certain degree of it, you have basic knowledge of that musical instrument, but does it make you a skilled person? It doesn't make a skilled person, right? Because until we put that into practice, we are not going to master that instrument. We are not going to be skilled in that particular instrument. So any skill, if you want to achieve or accomplish any task, you need to have practice. The more practice, the more skilled you are. So last point says that trial and error is probably the best way to achieve skill mastery. Like you can take another example of cooking. First time you have stepped into the kitchen to cook something, you have the recipe in your hand, you have seen how people have been cooking, you have seen, watched all those things. Now you're first going to try something new this time. You start cooking. As it progresses, because you don't have practice of cooking skills, what we do is we try to make some mistake. So it is okay to make error. Trial and error makes us more success. Failure is not that we are going to step back and sit again telling that, no, I have failed in this, I cannot move forward. It's okay to do mistake. You will learn more in those failures only. So skill is something which we try, which we practice, we make mistake, and probably after some time, we are going to achieve that error. We are going to overcome that error. That is what skill is. So that is the difference between knowledge and skill. Now you might be thinking, why am I talking about knowledge and skill? The topic is communication skills. So I'm going to talk about language skills. Why did I even brief you about knowledge and skill? It's just that most of us think that when I know a particular language, okay, I have a knowledge about particular language, any language. Example, you can take Spanish. I can speak Spanish. I have knowledge about Spanish. But until I do not have somebody else in front of me to practice it, to speak about it, how will I even get to know what I'm speaking, the way I'm speaking is correct or not? So having knowledge is not enough. You have to practice that so that you become skilled in that. So today, that is what I'm going to highlight. How we are going to improve our language skills and what are the situations in front of us where we can use the skills and how we can bring a smile on somebody else's face. So first, before we go into what are language skills, let's look into what is language. Okay, you can see I've written many languages there: Chinese, Japanese, Hindi, Bengali, English. So English also one of the important language. In India, we use English for communication, right? So most of us, what we think is, if we do not know English, we are not educated. Most of the people think so, but it's not that. It's okay if you're not very good in English. Like how a child begins learning a language, it watches their parents. It starts with small steps, and only then it reaches to accomplish that language. Nobody knows how I learned my mother tongue. Nobody will know that. I've seen my parents talk. I've seen people around me talk. And I started with one word. I started with one word. I started making sounds. Then it turned out to be words. Then it turned out to be sentence. That is how a person learns language. So what is language? Language is a system of communication which consists of set of sounds and written symbols. As I told you, language is combination of sounds and the symbols. So, and these can be used by the people of particular region, particular country, anybody. Language is used throughout the world. Okay, though much of our human communication, what we do is non-verbal. Like non-verbal in the sense, we can demonstrate our feelings, we can demonstrate our thoughts by our gestures, by our actions, by the tone we speak, by the expressions on our face. So most of the time, we express ourselves through non-verbal communication. But still, we can say that language is the vital part of human connection. It is the most important thing. It connects every human being together. By learning a language, it means that you have mastered something, a complex, a difficult system of words, a structure, a grammar, where we used to communicate. So that is what language is. And this language is very important to our culture and our society. How? Because it helps us to express our feelings, our thoughts, and it also acts as a something which preserves our culture. So language is most important for our society too. And not only society, for the development of our individuality, to development of our individual system. Because like I gave you example, when a child starts to use language, we can see how well they develop. First, they start making sounds, then they start making words, then they move into the sentences. So, it also is very important for the development of a particular individual, like us, you, me, everyone. Okay, and it is also very important for our personal communication. Personal communication in the sense you're talking with your friend. You go out to another region. Your dad is being transferred from one city to another, one state to another state. You need to make new friends. And when you move to another state, there's one language, English, where you can start making friends. Because you are a Telgite and the person, the place where you're moving, the people there speak Hindi. So there's one language which will help you to communicate, that is English. If you both understand English, so that is how you can communicate and you can start your personal bond with them. So this is what language and importance of language. And there was another line in your poster telling that let's start conversation with your classmate. So now how this language is used in your classroom, how it is used. So let's see. It is used for social interaction. How? You can imagine your own classroom, your own college. Think about the interaction between your friends and teachers. That is how you're going to start talking with your teachers. And the classroom is a place where it provides opportunity for different people from different cultural background, from different region, okay, different economic state. So language plays a very important role, having a conversation with your classmate, with your teacher. Like it facilitates teaching learning relations. Like a person, teacher says something, you have to understand that. So it facilitates the relation between a teacher and a student. So language here becomes center of interaction in classroom. Okay, I'm talking about English language here. So whatever we are going to have a conversation with each other, language is something which is in between. Okay, when we are talking about language, what comes to your mind? That is like in your classroom, you're having a conversation with your friend. There is a group activity taking place. So with your friends, your teacher has advised you, separated you all in different groups. Okay, and that's the first day of your college. So you need to make friends with each other. So when I was studying in my degree college, the first day, the first 2 days, what they do is they separate us into different groups. So I was a student from PEM, okay, physics, electronics, mathematics. So they will combine us with other groups like PCM, from biology background, okay, the biology combinations, they'll put us together, okay, then they will form groups. so that we can interact with them, so that we can make a relationship with each other. We can understand them. And during that group activities, they'll ask us to form some jingles. Jingle means rhyming words. Okay, they'll ask us to put up an act so that we can have that bond with each other as a community. Now, when we belong to one college, now we all belong to Padma Shri Institute of Management and Science. It's not that I belong to science block and they belong to management block. We should not know each other. We being part of one institute, we have to make sure that we have a good bonding with each other. Every department holds some plus point, right? So we cannot put something down. We cannot put a commerce student down. We can't put a science student down. We can't say anything to each other. We have to make sure that our institute gets something from me. I make my institute proud. We make our institute proud. So that is how we can have a language as a center of interaction. And it is the most effective for socialization too, because apart from your classroom, apart from your college, you visit many public places like temple, church, mall, mosque, and all these places, language plays very important role. It helps you to socialize with them. So hence, language is one of the vital thing, and hence language skills, having you mastering this language, okay, being skilled in this language is very important to facilitate learning and socializing. So this is what we're going to learn. Okay, so that is the importance of language. I hope I'm clear till here. If you have any doubts, put it on the chat box. Now, let's learn some language skill which is relevant to our classroom work. Okay, so first, what are language skills? It is another way to describe language in terms of 4 basic language skills. Those are listening, speaking, reading, writing. These are the 4 basic language skills we have. So this language skill is divided into 2 types, receptive skills and productive skills. So receptive skills are listening. You receive something, listen and receive, read and receive. Productive skills are something which you produce while speaking, while writing. But the most important thing is receptive. I'm going to focus on receptive skills today. You're going to learn more about productive skills in the today's workshop. Let us focus on receptive skills, which is the most important language skill which everyone has to achieve. So, what are receptive and productive skills? Receptive skills. Okay. So, these receptive skills are sometimes known as passive skills. It includes understanding when you listen, when you read, like when you receive a language and you decode a meaning to understand the message. That is the receptive skill. And productive skills are abilities that we need to produce a message, the abilities we are going to get. So you use language that you have acquired and you produce a message through how? Speaking, writing. This is how you produce whatever abilities you have achieved. Then, to sum up, we can say that we have to combine both these skills, both receptive and productive skills, in order to learn something, in order to share something. That is briefing about receptive and productive skills. So how do you share this receptive skill? When you learn a new language, what we do is we try to develop those skills first and then try to acquire it, produce it successfully. So listening and reading plays an important role in acquiring language skills. So first we have to learn that. Only then we can produce successfully. Then when you're developing receptive skills, you're particularly challenging something, challenging your communication. So suppose you go and meet someone, a fluent speaker, a fluent English speaker, a native speaker, but you do not have that confidence whether will I speak fluently like them? Will they understand what I speak? So you need to develop these receptive skills. How do you develop? You have to listen first. You have to listen what they speak. Actively listen to them. Only then you can reciprocate. You can produce something. You can say answer to them. That is how developing receptive skill. And to develop this receptive skill, I'm going to say more about it in the further session. So we need to enjoy it first. We have to select one particular book, okay, which you like. There are so many books out there. Select one particular book, choose a topic which you love, start reading it. When you love something what you do, that is how you will improve and get some information from it. If you take a book which you don't like, or somebody is forcing you to read, you're not enjoying it, then nothing you will be getting on your mind. You will not understand anything, you will not enjoy anything. So select something which you enjoy, select something which you like, then start trying to read it so that you can improve your receptive skill. For example, as I given here, television, music, books, magazines. So television, what we do is most of us, okay, the young people, we are addicted to other languages. As I see these days, youngsters are addicted to Korean language. People watch all those things. Instead of it, watch something which you get information. Now you want to improve your English language, just try to watch BBC News, try to watch English movies. You will learn new languages, you will learn new slangs, listen to music, read some books, read newspapers, which will which is the one way, which are these kind of ways you can build your vocabulary, you can start improving your language skills. Instead of wasting our time on something which we already know. Why do you have to waste your time? If you want to learn something, if you want to accomplish something, try to start moving forward with that. Take one step forward. Start learning something. It's okay. You watch an English movie or English program, you don't understand because how they speak too fast. Okay? You're not understanding the word. It's okay, not a problem. Again, when you watch it, you will understand. So that is how you can achieve receptive skills. So we'll be learning individually about these skills. Okay? First. So here there's a quote saying that I remind myself every morning, nothing I say this day will teach me anything. So if I'm going to learn, I must do it by listening. So this one quote I keep always on my phone, because every day I remind myself that I'm going to teach, I'm going to speak something. I'm going to teach my students. If I only speak, I do not listen to my students, I am not going to learn anything. Whatever I have prepared notes for a particular day, maybe the student knows much more about it. If he has a question, only then I can answer that. And if I do not know how to answer that particular question, I might learn something new. So instead of only speaking, okay, only what I am going to tell, people are going to listen. Not that. You should leave that attitude behind. You have to start listening to somebody. You have to not just hear. Hearing is different, listening is different. I'll come to it lately. So first, I'm going to listen somebody talk. And that is the one way which I'm going to learn. So what is listening? So among the 4 listening skill, this is the first language that a person learns. Okay? Or a skill that a person learns. The process will start with sounds, okay, which enter your ears. Then it is processed in your brain and it will become a meaningful message. Now, whatever I'm talking to you, you are listening with your ears. And what if you want to know the meaning of it, it goes directly to your brain. Only then the meaning is created. And that is how a child also starts learning a language. Okay? No child is being taught their native language. It is inherited. They are acquiring it by watching, by observing. I will learn English because I go to school. That's my second language. I went to school. My teachers have taught me ABC. First the letters they taught, then they taught me words, then they taught me sentence, they just gave me a beautiful text. But whereas my native language, nobody taught me like that. They didn't teach me the letters first. They didn't teach me the words. It is acquired by observation. I have observed my parents talk, I have observed my elders talk, and I started speaking out the words, and then I have learned it. So listening is the first language skill that each and every person learns. Okay, so we have to be an active listener. I'm going to be talking about it more. So, how we can be an active listener. Now, all of you, including me, are listening to somebody talk. Okay, I'm listening it carefully. I can say that I am listening carefully. I can answer any question, whatever they're going to ask me now. I'm ready to answer. But we will lag somewhere or someplace. How? We'll be distracted with something. Something pops into our mind. I'm like, oh, why am I here? Okay, I'll get distracted and I will move away. So by paying close attention, you have to the speeches they make, the teaching they make, a person or a individual, a group of people can improve their speaking skills. How? By imitating the sound, by imitating the features they do and what they hear. And that is how a child does. So I'm giving examples of a child many times. So you have to understand that how a child developed these skills. They already have these skills of their native language. Nobody is teaching them. The child observes the features of the face. So how will a person, when mother says sit down, okay, now you're not looking at me, you're not seeing my face, so you will not know whether I'm telling it to you with an expression of anger or I'm telling it to you with an expression of care. Nobody will know. So when you are listening, you have to not only listen with your ears, you will have to think beyond that. Look at the gestures, use your eyes, okay, what expressions they are making. So those are the people who are actively listening. Listening is not only through ears. We can say that I'm listening here. Okay, when you're listening to a radio broadcast, okay, some English speech is being given. So the intonation, the pitch can always tell you that whether that person is telling it in a which tone, what kind of a pitch he's using, all those things you can understand by hearing. But you will not know how that person is talking with their expressions. That is what active listeners means. And then, so this art of conversation all lies in listening. Okay, and that was told by one of the person, Malcolm Forbes. He says that art of conversation lies in listening. So in your college, you are busy doing some reading in the library, or you are making notes for your exam. All of a sudden, one of your friend comes inside. He comes and he starts speaking, or he or she starts speaking. And while they are speaking, you're not connecting to them. You're not listening to them. You're just hearing what they are saying. You're busy making your notes. Somebody is talking. He's telling what happened in his life. Okay, what are the things he's going through? He's talking so much. You're just okay. We all do that. I also do most of the times. Okay, when I'm busy reading, I don't like anyone disturbing me. I really don't like. When I'm reading, I want somebody to give my own space so that I can read comfortably. I can understand something. And somebody interrupts me, I'm like, okay, okay. That's all. That is where I'm just hearing. I am not listening to that person. So when I'm just hearing, what impact am I leaving on that person? What will the speaker think about me then? Maybe that person is coming and telling me about the situation he's going through. Maybe he's going into a bad phase, right? Maybe he's going in some of the different situation. When I'm just, okay, I'm taken back. Even when you have a conversation on SMS, okay, your friends text you. People say, somebody sends you, you get annoyed, right? So what impact are you leaving on the speaker who are speaking to you? Just think about it. Right? So what we do is always we listen. We hear something somebody say, but when you're not listening actively, the impact we leave on the speaker is something which is very different. Okay, they are taken back. They are not motivated. They demotivate. You're demotivating that person. As I gave you an example in the beginning, a person comes on the stage for the first time to say something. If I, being the audience, I'm not listening to him, he's speaking there and I'm doing my work. Okay, I'm using my mobile, I'm reading something, then what impact am I leaving on that person? First time that person has come on stage, I'm demotivating that person. I'm not actively listening. And this listening skill is very, very difficult. Okay, not everyone will achieve this skill. It is the most difficult thing, because the one thing we youngsters and anybody doesn't like is listening. We don't like listening. We want people to hear us out, but we don't like somebody to talk and we should listen. Maybe in the family too. Your family, your parents are talking to you, you don't want to listen. You just want to keep your point of view. So listening skill is one of the difficult tasks to achieve. Okay, so let's see. There are 4 components. Okay, there are many components to active listening. The first component you all know is very ear. Okay, ears is the first component. Without ear, you can't listen. Okay, there are so many people, they understand. People who cannot hear, they understand with their expression. They have a sign language, right? They have mastered that skill. So ear plays a very important role during our active listening. Even if you're missing one component, okay, ear, the eyes, okay, when you're listening, not only ear should be open, you have to open your eyes also and see what is the expression, as I told you before. Okay, your brain has to be active. You're just listening and you're sleeping, what is the use? You're listening here and you're thinking something else, what is the use? You're not understanding it. So even one of the component is missing out in active listening, then sure, you have not understood what that opposite person is telling. So as I told you in the beginning, I've been telling it, okay, throughout the session, that I should not hear, I should listen. So there is a difference between hearing and listening. Okay, listening means you will tell, it is very easy. Okay, see, now ma'am is telling something, I'm listening. No, not most of us are listening now. So you can see my expressions there in the video. Okay, I'm trying to use my hands, I'm trying to make expression, I'm trying to laugh. That is what listening is. Hearing is just, you're just hearing. So there is a difference between these both. Okay, even, and if you talk about active listening, it takes more and more effort. It is very difficult. Okay, not every person is going to achieve it, but if you're putting your hard work inside it, when your teacher is teaching you something, I can bet you that only with the explanation of what your teacher teaches you in the classroom, okay, if you're actively listening to it, even without making notes, you can write your answers. And most of the time I have done it. We don't, in our general English, in our degree college, we don't have a notes, we don't have a particular text. I didn't have a text. The day before we are going to write English exam, we will be reading some other subject, because we do not know what we are going to get in our exam. But during our classes, what our teacher speaks, we are just concentrating on it. Whatever documentary our teacher shows, I'm listening to it, I'm actively listening to it, so that whatever questions may appear, we are ready to answer. Okay, so listening is much more important. And this active listening does not come through a day, through a week. It takes years to achieve the skill. Okay, like one day I'm going to tell that I'm going to actively listen to the session, what is happening. I go sit in front of the TV, I understand it, I'm watching, I'm listening, okay, actively, because it's the first day. Okay, because my teacher told I have to actively listen, I'm starting to do the work now. What we do, I'm listening, I'm listening, I'm listening. You get bored at a time. You're like, what am I doing? Why am I even listening to this? I already know about it. Why should I listen? I told you, you have a knowledge about it, but you're going to be a skilled person only you put it to practice, right? So listening is something like that. No use. It is of no use. So if you're just listening with your ears, you're just hearing. So 80% of our conversation, okay, whatever we talk, is non-verbal. Like my gestures, my face expression, my hand gestures, the tone I speak. Okay, so all these things is non-verbal. But if you're just listening with your ears, then you're missing 80% of it. Imagine you're missing 80% of the conversation. So that is what is more important. You have to not only listen with your ears, you have to look into it, you have to observe things, you have to see how they are speaking. Only then you can understand. Now you're moving into another native state. Okay, you're going abroad. Let's take you're going to Spain. There you find a person who can speak English. Okay, our Indian accent is very different. Spanish people's Indian accent is like English accent is very different. They have a different accent. The way we pronounce a word might be they are pronouncing it differently and you won't understand. And English is a very critical subject, like we have similar words, like same spelling words, but the pronunciation is different. Okay, there's a difference between center and center. TRETER. The both pronunciation is same, right? So it is very difficult word, English subject. English is very difficult subject. So when somebody is talking, that person is showing, you are asking direction to that person. That person is just telling you the directions. Move right, move left, then move straight and go there. How will you feel? How will you actually give a direction? You will use your hand. From here, you have to go straight, then try to take a left. Even when you don't understand the language, if you don't understand the accent, what you do is you see their expression and you understand. So most of our conversation is non-verbal. We use non-verbal gestures. So what we have to do is we have to not just listen with ears, but also with the other components also. Even if you eliminate one, okay, you're not listening to it. Like there will be a lot of distractions when you're listening. Okay, so there should be no distraction when you're listening something. And most of the test, okay, which you give for going abroad, the TOEFL test and all, IELTS test, we can say, English competency test, where you are going to test your knowledge, listening is more important. So what you have to do is, you need to do more activities, okay? You have to look into the activities, what people are doing, and understand it. Okay, there are so many resources available on YouTube, on Google. Just browse about it, start listening. First, when you watch a TV show, I gave you example of watching a TV show. When you're watching something, an English show, watch without subtitles first. Okay, watch without the subtitles. You will understand something. There's something will be going on your mind. Then again, watch the same show with the subtitles. Then you can assess your knowledge. Whatever you have understood, is it right? The word, whatever they told, is it what I heard? Okay, when the subtitles are produced. So that is how you will test your listening skills comprehension. Okay, so now how to improve your listening skills? How will you improve? So there are 4 components through which you can improve your language skill. Okay, first is prepare to listen. So you might think, should I prepare to listen? Yes, obviously we have to be prepared to listen. Now, before the webinar could begin, what we saw, we went through the poster, right? The brochure, whatever was given to us, we went through it. What are they going to talk in this webinar? Oh, they're going to talk about communication skills. Well, I know about communication skills. What are they going to talk more about communication skills? Right? You are actually preparing yourself. That is what preparing means. So if you're going to an airport, you can say, okay, when you go to an airport, you have to know something about destination, the flights, okay, the time, then about the luggage, visa. These are the words which will be used in the airport, right? Destination, flight, luggage, visa, all those things. So you should know what time the flight is going to arrive. You're going to prepare yourself, and you should prepare about your visa. When they ask, you have to prepare about your passport. So this is the things how you'll prepare before you start to listen. And it's okay if you don't understand for the first time, somebody is talking to you, you don't understand, it is okay, not at all a problem. You can ask them to repeat. When you're asking them to repeat, you're confirming to yourself. It's okay. When a teacher is teaching you, explaining something to you, it's okay. Raise your hand, ma'am, I have a doubt in this. Can you repeat once again? it's okay to ask once again. Not at all a problem. Nobody is going to get offended. Instead, you're going to be confirmed of what you listened already. So before you start listening, you have to prepare yourself. Okay? And it is okay for you to ask them to repeat. That's the first one component. Okay? Second, listen for specific information. So you have to keep yourself focused. Okay, now you're going to a conference where in that conference they're going to talk about basic about GST or about gender. Okay, so look for the specific words what the speaker is talking. Okay, that subject is more interesting. Look for about gender. Okay, what is he talking about men? What is he talking about female? What is he talking about gender equality? Pick out the specific information, note it down. Okay, now same example if you take about airport. When there's an announcement happening, okay, look for specific information. Okay, then in talking about particular flight, what time the particular flight is going to arrive. Okay, what time it's going to leave this place, and what is the destination of that flight. Listen for specific information so that you can understand more clearly. Okay, so you have to keep yourself focused on that specific information like ticket number, arrival time, all those things in an airport. And when your teacher is teaching to you, we have to be very clear. We have to actively listen to your teacher. When your teacher is talking about what to say, any topic about, we can give a topic, social. Okay, social groups. Listen for specific words about social group, what your teacher is talking. Note it down. Those specific information can give you much more information later. Okay, so listen for specific information when you're listening to it. Third, listen for pleasure. And most of us, we do this when you're watching match. Okay, when you're watching our favorite TV show, we all listen for play. We enjoy what we listen. Like the last few years when I was teaching for my students, most of the students, when I do some activity, they will always talk about something called Big Boss, which I don't watch. Okay, they feel so happy. They repeat the dialogues what they tell. How do they even remember those dialogues? Because they're enjoying what they are listening. Now, suppose I don't enjoy what I listen, I am not going to repeat. How will you memorize the songs? You're just listening the songs. You sing the song fluently. But when you listen to a subject topic, will you be able to repeat even with a full stop? Will you be able to repeat each sentence fluently? No. Because when I listen to a song, I'm listening it for pleasure. I repeat it again and again. I listen to the subtitles. I see to the subtitles. I see to the lyrics. Then I learn. That is called listening for pleasure. So easy for us to actually achieve this listening skill if we keep this third important point in your mind. As you listen to a movie song, as you listen to something which you love, if you listen to your teacher, if you listen to something which is educational purpose, I'm 100% sure you will all achieve the skill to great heights, and you will be sharing about it with your people, with your colleagues, with your friends. And when you move into, this is a college life, you've just stepped into college life. When you move to a workplace, all these things will be very important. You will think back, oh, that day we learned all these things, and you will be using it there more than your classroom, more than your college. There you have to listen to your team leader. You have to listen to your colleague, what they're talking. And when team leader is giving you some information, you're going to listen for specific information from that. What is the importance of that? And if you sit and just listen, okay, he's telling something. Let me understand. You get bored of yours. You feel that it's very boring session. You're not going to get anything from that session. So listen for pleasure. Enjoy it. Like I told you, watch a television program without subtitles first. Okay? Then again watch it with subtitles. You will understand more. You will get information more. Okay? Anything, a radio program, choose the topic which you are interested in. Now, English is a very easy subject if you all put some efforts in it. Okay? There are so many genres there. If you like horror fiction, get a horror fiction book. If you like romantic novel, buy a romantic novel. What you love, pick a book from that. Pick a CD, pick a radio program from that. Pick out a story, read that. Suppose what if we love the things what we do, we are going to be happier and we are going to achieve that. Suppose, taking my example, if I would have chosen mathematics for my master degree, it is not my passion, it is just my ambition. Okay, I don't have any pleasure doing that. I just know I can do mathematics sums, I can solve those sums. Okay, I'm achieving it. I'm not getting any happiness in it. If I would have done that, I don't think I would be standing at this stage. I won't be in a place where I am. It is just that I chose something which I love, which gives me happiness. And that is what makes me more successful, more happy. I'm a happier person now. Okay, happy is different from happier. I have a joy on my face. Happy is different, joy is different. Happiness is for some time, joy is for eternal, it is always. So you need to listen for pleasure, only then it will stay for a long time. Okay, and the last thing is carefully observe the people you listen. As I told you, watch people speak, see their tone, how they're speaking. See, I can say, get up, get up, get up. You can see the way I speak, my tone changes. First one, I'm being very rough. Second one, get up, I can talk to a child. Okay, you're going to observe it. You're going to observe the gestures, the actions, what they do, and how they stand. Okay, and link them all together, and you will get a meaning to it. This are the 4 important things when you're listening, and these 4 things will help you to improve your listening skills. Okay, so I will show you a short video based on it. I want you all to see how you can improve your English listening skills. Okay. Okay, so 1 sec. So since I don't have much time, so you just saw what are the distractions you will take place while having when you're listening to something. There will be a lot of distractions. So these are some ways you can improve. Okay, come out of the distractions. Do not think. Okay, actively listen to a person, look into the tone and the gestures what they are speaking, and all these things might improve your listening skills. So I will just brush up upon reading skills. Okay, I'll just brief you about reading skills, but my main focus for today was about listening skills. Okay, so I'll just tell what reading skills are and how you can improve it, because this goes one in one. Okay, so reading is a 3rd language skill a person learns. Okay, after listening, what we do is we automatically speak. We try to speak. So reading is a 3rd language skill a person learns. Then, and this process of reading involves you're observing a text, you're receiving information from the text, and how do you receive information of the text? From symbols, from the letters. Okay, your eyes plays a very important role here. Okay, in listening, we saw ears is the main component. Your eyes plays a very important role. Okay, so suppose when I am reading something, I can actually imagine. That is one kind of a skill not every person has. when your teacher is teaching you, you can imagine things which is going in front of them. When your teacher is talking about a haunted house, you have a picture of a haunted house because you have already seen that picture and it just stays in your memory. So it is reading is a process where you're observing and receiving information. Okay, then, and reading does not only broaden your knowledge, okay, it also builds up your vocabulary, your spellings, okay, whatever you're going to learn. Okay, suppose it builds your vocabulary, then it strengthens your grammatical proficiency. You will know what is the structure, so you will know how a sentence should be formed: subject, verb, object. So you will know all those grammatical proficiency. You will know what are adverbs. You will know, you will look into things of adjectives, all those things. Okay, that is called reading. So now how you will improve this reading skills is read for enjoyment. Okay, as I told you, listen for pleasure. Here you read for enjoyment. Choose a topic, okay, which you like. And when you're reading, you don't read word by word. Okay, don't try to read each word. Try to read the whole text as together. Okay, then you will try to analyze the meaning of the unknown things, whatever you have learned. Okay, it's a process. Okay, not everybody knows every meaning in the English word text. You need a dictionary with you. It's okay, read completely, then you understand the meaning. Okay, and do not go word by word, and look for some keywords like noun. When you're reading a text, look for a noun. Okay, what is the place talking about, what is the character talking about, then the verbs, what that character is doing, what action the character is doing, and how is that character described. Very brave, okay, he's very timid, all those things. Then look for adverbs in that, which these things will give more information for you while reading. And before you make predictions, okay, like you can, before you start reading, reading a novel, start making predictions. Okay, maybe the story will end in this way, maybe this is going to be the end of the particular thing. Start making predictions what is going to happen. And as I told you, look for keywords. And while reading, break up things. Okay, not word by word, read one paragraph. Okay, read a paragraph, look for the information, look for the keywords, get more meaning to it. You will understand more. Then these things will improve your skill. You have a reading comprehension for your questionnaires. Okay, for your exam, for your test, you will have a comprehension. This will be given for your government competitive exams also. You will read a paragraph. Okay, read first paragraph, look for the keywords, underline those keywords. Okay, then understand about those keywords. Maybe the question is asked about it, right? Try to answer that question. So this will improve your reading skills, and even this also needs practice. Without practice, we are not going to learn anything. So that is for today's session. I hope you all have understood what I spoke. If you have any doubts, you can put it in the chat box. Thank you, sir. How, ma'am, how can we learn correct pronunciation? As I told you, you can type a word. Okay, to learn pronunciation, you should understand about the intonation, the pitch, all those things. It is a linguistic component. So the easiest way, if you're not an English student, okay, who's not learning linguistic or phonetics, okay, you can just type those words. Okay, you will have a phonetic descriptions. So to talk about pronunciation is a huge topic. Okay, how can I understand? Because in phonetics, In English, we have 26 letters, but in for the sounds what we speak has 44 sounds. Okay, you can just Google or you can buy a Cambridge pronunciation dictionary, okay, through which you will understand how to pronounce a particular word. Okay. Okay. Ma'am, actually, I'm better in English, but I'm not able to talk to people. I'm not getting proper word to talk to people. Yes. Yes. As I told you, it's okay if we are not grammatically proficient. Okay. We are not good. Like, we do not know how the grammar structures are. Okay. How it goes on. All these things we understand. But it's okay to give a try. Trying might help you out. Okay. Like, you need not choose proper word. Okay, you need not wait upon, okay, what is that proper word? Don't wait upon proper word. How you understand our particular situation, start speaking. Okay, because nobody is going to judge you based on what you speak. To get proper word, you need to get updated each day. You need to read more books. You need to watch more television programs. Okay, only then you can actually achieve this skill.
Ma'am,
Yes.
it was great listening to you. My
Okay.
question to you is how to overcome problems starting in conversations.
Starting conversations. Okay.
Yes.
Most of us, we have um, just okay. So as you told, how to start a conversation, all of us have that fear to start a conversation. Most of us do. When there's a person in front of us who's fluent and who's a native speaker, okay, we are very scared to begin our conversation. Is it? So telling that, how will I start a conversation? It's okay. You have to start always a conversation with a pleasant way. Okay, you have to greet somebody. Okay, start conversation greeting someone. Okay, if you do not know that person before in hand, start ask about that person. From where are you from? I have never seen you at this place before. Okay, start a conversation this way. Suppose you know that person before. Okay, you have known that person for a long time and still you feel that you cannot start a conversation, then you will have to think, why am I not able? That's maybe it's because of fear or you're feeling inferior. With the unknown person, starting a conversation is difficult, and that is where we can start greeting somebody. Okay, knowing about them, tell them about yourself. Okay, and you can overcome that fear and the conversation will go on smoothly by the components adding to it. Now I start a conversation telling that about myself, that person will automatically tell them about their self. Then from that you will get a topic to speak, and that is how a conversation moves on, it goes on. Okay. How to get rid of stage fear, ma'am? I forget the content, what I plan to talk. So stage fear is something which all of us, okay, all of the students have. Most of the students have. We can say that stage fear. Now, when you go on a stage for the first time, okay, you should never by heart what you're talking. Keep a notes, okay, what topic you're going to keep, make notes of it, carry it in your hand. It's not necessary that you're going to just look into and read. Okay, just make some points, keep it in front of you, and you should feel confident of what you're speaking. First, before you go on the stage, you should understand that you have prepared well. Okay, I have prepared my topic. I need not fear. If there is any question asked to me, I will answer because you have planned very well. We are prepared very well, and there is no need of any fear. And as I told you, if the audience who's opposited before you are getting any problem, they are making any distractions or doing anything, you can actually start questioning them. Okay, that will give you more confidence when people, they'll actively sit and listen them. And to get rid of stage fear, the first thing is you have to be confident of what you have planned. That is the most important thing. Okay, like you have to be prepared well. And we are prepared well, you will not get a stage fear. Most of us have stage fear seeing people. We cannot teach front of more people. You cannot speak front of more people. Okay, and do not have eye contact. Like there is a person in front of you whom you know. Have an eye contact with them initially. Okay, because you know you're going to get positive vibes from that person. Have an eye contact with that person, start speaking. As the thing progresses, you will feel more confident and you will start having eye contact with everybody. Okay, this is how you can overcome, like looking at one person.
I think you can see one more question in the chat box.
Yes, sir. How to introduce ourselves in interviews a different way. Yes, this is the most important thing. Okay, so when you go to an interview, you are not going to say whatever is already written in your resume. Okay, in your resume, everything is given. What is given? Your name, your address, which college have you studied from. Okay, you're not going to use words whatever is already in the resume. You're going to say something which, yes, Nilesh, I'll come back to you. You have raised your hand. Okay, you're going to say something which is away, something different from your resume. Like you have not mentioned about your particular skill. You're going to start introducing yourself in that way. Like people already know, the interviewer already has a resume in your resume in the hand. He knows you're Monica E, you have completed this. So what I will do is, as he knows, you will tell, I'm an optimist person. I have been doing this for a long time. The things which is all not already mentioned in your resume, you will bring that forward front of him. Okay, that is how you will introduce yourself in the interviews. You're not going to tell, I am Monica E. I have completed my master's in this college. I've done so many programs. I'm not going to use the same thing. Okay, I'm going to introduce something which is not there in the resume. That is how the interviewer will get more, he will feel more happy about you. He will get to know much more things about you, which is apart from your resume. That is how you will introduce. You will say, hello, sir. Hello, sir. Okay. If you have not given your resume, that is the first time you're handing your resume, you will shake your hand. Hello, sir. I am Monica. I'm here for this job. I saw your advertisement in the newspaper. So I feel by saying our name while introducing is a good way, no, ma'am. Yes, that's what I'm telling you. If your resume, if your person addresses you already with your name, why will you actually tell your name again? Your resume is already in that person's hand. He's telling, yes, Monica, have your seat. Again, will I tell, I am Monica. The person who already knows you're Monica. If the person who is interviewing you does not know your name and you are handing over your resume to him and he has not went through it, then it's the good way to introduce you with your name. You can tell, hello, sir, if he already calls you out with your name. Okay, if he doesn't tell your name, if he doesn't know about you, you can actually tell your name, introduce yourself, and you can settle down. Yes, Nilesh, you had raised your hand, Nilesh. You have a question, Nilesh? You had raised your hand.
Look at the chat box once again.
Nilesh, 1 second. Ma'am, how can we speak English fluently and confidently, ma'am? Okay. I think I have answered most of the questions. How can we speak English fluently and confidently? Fluently, it takes time. As I told you, you have to achieve all these skills. Only then you can be fluent in something. It needs more practice. Confidence is when you already have a knowledge about it. You have a little confidence. You have 80% confidence that I know what I'm going to talk. Okay. But you have to practice that. You have to show that in your way. Okay. That is how your confidence level will increase inside you. Fluently, it will take time. If you are a beginner of learning English, okay, and it's most difficult for a person whose native language is not English to speak fluently, we will make some errors. There will be some errors, but when we practice it, when we look into all the structures, all those things, we'll be a fluent person. Okay, we can categorize persons in different way: beginner, okay, fluent, advanced. To reach that fluent level, first you have to pass the beginner level. And the confidence, when you pass the beginner level, when you know everything, you're prepared well, the confidence will be inside you. Okay. So I think I've answered all the questions. Increasing the salary, how can we talk about it in right manner? Increasing the salary. Yes. Once. Now, if you want your salary to be increased, you have been working with that company or organization for a very long time. Okay, it's been 2 years, they haven't increased your salary. You can actually go to your boss. You can sit, okay? You can first speak about your achievements, what you have done. Because even the boss, your person who's head of your organization will know what you have done for the organization, what achievements you have done. So you can go and tell, sir, I've been working for this company for last 2 years. I've been part of this organization. I've been improving. This organization has helped me to improve my skills and all of those things, okay, which has given me a lot of knowledge. And I have also imparted my knowledge. I've also helped I've been this part of this organization, helped the organization in their growth. And I think so, I've done more. Okay, like not more means not like you've completely done something. Okay. So you can go and tell, sir, I think I should get an increment in the salary. But like he will ask, how much do you expect? You have to tell your expectation salary in a very polite way. You cannot just go and tell, I've been working for so long time, you have to increase my salary. You cannot be very rude. You have to start with a polite conversation, explain him about your situation, why you need this increment. Okay, then this might be the right way to ask. After graduating, I may not have practical experience in the field and I'm urgent need of job. Then how I need to speak? Most of the organizations, okay, they don't look into experience, your practical experience, they don't look into. Okay, they take freshers also. And if you are in need of urgent job, okay, you are need of a job urgently, then when you go and meet an interviewer, you have to prepare yourself well about that company. You have to know about that company well. Okay, there's a particular specification will be given in your job description, job profile, telling that you have to complete this. We need this kind of a candidate who has these kind of skills. They have this qualification. So if you are passing all those qualifications, then you can directly go for an interview. When you start a conversation with them, okay, you have to feel confident and you have to showcase your knowledge, what knowledge you have. And then you can tell that I want to use my knowledge to help this helping this organization for their growth. Okay, you can tell, I want to share my knowledge here, I want to improve my knowledge, and I think this organization is the best, okay, one of the best organizations, and I would like to be part of this organization and learn more things in the coming years. So you can tell positive things about the organization. You can actually ask them, you should know more about that organization, when that organization began. Okay, what does that organization do? So you should have a very good knowledge of that organization. And that is how you can impress an interviewer. This is the one key thing. Any interviewer asks you a question, they expect that you know about that organization. They want to know. They're like, okay, how well they are prepared. You're going to some company, you have to know about that company. Without knowing what that company does, and you go with a profile where that company, the organization is not part of that profile, it's of no use. So when you're new to a job, when you're fresher, you are in urgent need of a job, you need to be well prepared before in hand. As I told you, for skills, okay, like practice is needed. You don't have a practice, it's okay. But if you have a prior knowledge of it, it is like you're 50% you're for moving forward with that skill. You have a knowledge about it, then people will take you in. Any more questions? Ma'am, yes, Mugdha. Thanks. Yes, thank you. Yes. Mugdha, yes, Mugdha. You have a question. Ask me, Mugdha. How to talk while changing the job? Yeah, this is a very tricky question, right? So most of us think, like, how will I even go and talk to my boss about changing the job? Like, it's a very, if you're doing very well, okay, and the boss wants to keep you in the job place, how will you go and tell him? Now you will go and tell that person, like, changing the job in the sense, if you're looking for a job in the same organization but in a different team, okay, it's the same company you're working, you're looking for a promotion in different team, then you can directly go and talk about the changing of job to the boss. You can tell, you before going and talking to him, you have to first improve yourself. You have to do a course how you can go from this team to another team. Like a particular team, you should have completed some particular course, right? So now you have to move forward to another team, okay, move forward to another job profile. You have to do another course. First equip yourself with that knowledge, okay, learn about it, okay, practice it, do a course. Like example, you can do a course about it. Then with that certificate, you can go in front of your boss and tell, boss, I've been working with this organization for past so many years, and I've been working this particular team. Now I've completed completed this course where I can work for another team. You can tell about that particular team. Okay, tell him that, sir, I've completed this course. So, and I have been watching the people doing work, and I think I can be part of that team. So politely you can ask of changing of a position from one team to another. But when you're talking about changing the job completely from one organization to another organization, it is a tricky one. Okay, you will directly, if your boss or the organization doesn't want to leave you early, okay, they might not agree to you. But if if you are changing a job, you can go and tell, sir, I want to change, I'm moving from this place to another place. Okay, so I want to change my job, I'm leaving this job, you can tell. Or if you are not happy with the salary, you can tell that directly to that boss politely. I've been working here for so long, and I'm not happy with the salary what I'm getting. I have my personal reasons to quit the job. So you can give your relieving letter. Just, they have a prior notice period. So before, you have to serve a notice period after you give a relieving letter, right? So you have to tell how many months prior notice period is given to you. You have to look into that, and before that you have to submit your relieving letter. Then you have to politely have a conversation with your boss and explain him the reason why you're quitting the job. You cannot just go and brag at him. You cannot just go and talk to him in a very rude manner, telling that I'm not getting the salary this much, so I want to leave. So you have to, the conversation should be very polite. Only then even the boss will understand. Explain him the situation. Okay, like you're talking, if you have any problem with your colleagues because of which you're changing the job, you have to give reasons. Because every organization have certain rules. They look into every aspects of a colleague, like employee. Okay, so you can actually talk to him, they will understand. And if the reason is very genuine, you're quitting the job, they will accept your relieving letter. They will give you a notice period. You have to serve that notice period, then you can change a job. But when you're planning to change a job, you have to actually look for a job in prior. Okay, you have to look for a job in prior already and then decide about it. Without having a job in your hand, you cannot just leave a job. Then you will be having no income for another month. So that is how. Now, how to talk with principal while we want to change the college? Same way here also, okay? When you have to enter the principal's cabin, greet principal, okay? Because our educational institutes, our principals are very friendly. The teachers who are above us, with qualified people, they are very friendly to us. They will understand our situation more than your boss, okay? The corporate field, educational field is very much more friendly. You can go and tell your principal that, yes, dear ma'am, you can actually give a letter also, but if you want to talk in person with your principal, you can go and tell her or tell him, okay, about the situation, the personal reason why you want to change the college. They will accept your situation. If your personal reason is very genuine, okay, actually the institute will accept it. You have to have a genuine reason why you are changing college, but you have to talk politely. Like I told you, communication is a key. You have to be polite and nice. The way, the tone, the way, the pitch you speak, the how you speak matters. You have to be very, very soft spoken when you're speaking to higher authorities. Okay, compulsory. While addressing something, is it compulsory to start with a good morning only, or we can start with what time of the day is? Exactly. You have to start with what time of the day it is. Now I'm talking to some person with in the afternoon. I have to talk to tell good afternoon. Hello, sir. Good afternoon. If it is evening, good evening. Okay. It's not that you have to use with good morning all the time. It's not morning. We have morning, afternoon, evening. So obviously you have to use words what time of the day it is. It is. Also you can tell hello, sir. Nice to meet you. You not have wishes. Hello, sir. Nice to meet you. Enough. Okay. Anything else? Ma'am, what if I want to change my company just because I took a liking to it and have no other reasons to leave my previous company? I want to change my company just because I took a liking to it. I have no other reasons. You have a reason because you like that company. There is like no other reason. The liking is most important thing. As I told you, you have to follow what you like. Okay. If you're not happy with one company, okay, you can actually go and tell that directly, not telling that I don't like this company. You're not going to tell in that way. You're going to tell I'm going to quit the job. They might ask the reason. You can give that I have interest in this particular field and I want to move on to that field. You have to be very genuine with your answers, truthful to it. Okay. So whatever you like, you have to pursue that. It's not something where you don't like, okay, with something which you don't like, staying there is of no use. It's good that always you work in a place where you like or you enjoy. So if you like another company or another organization, it is okay to go and tell the interview to your boss that my interest is in this particular field. And I think working in this particular field can improve my skills can be improved and I can be a better person. So I want to move. You can be very genuine to it. They will, again, I can say you, they give you a notice period to serve. No company will keep you for 50 years. If you want to change, it is your individual decision. Okay, nobody is going to hold on to you. Pratiksha, clear Pratiksha. Thank you, Mugdha. Okay, I hope I have addressed your questions. And any more questions if you have, you can ask me. I suppose that's, thank you. Thank you. Okay. So thank you so much for being such good listeners for today's program. If you all have not listened to what I spoke today, I wouldn't have felt so confident while speaking. So it applies to me also, whatever I told you. I had a very good audience today on the virtual program. Because of this COVID, we are not able to meet. And I'm so happy. I had a very good audience and so many questions. I thank Tamaya sir for giving me this opportunity. Thank you, sir, so much. And thank you, Principal Ma'am. And thank you, Padma Shri Institute of Management, for giving me the opportunity to keep my skills here. Thank you so much. And thank you for all the students.
Oh, great. So nice of you. And it's a very good session, very enlightened one. Thank you so much, Monica, for joining us and enlightening our students community. in the field of communication. And there were very interesting questions have been asked in the chat box, and I was forced to answer sometimes, like, I was thinking, let me answer this like that. So really, so when they can raise the questions, when the thought will come, because when during the session you might have focused and you might have listened carefully and attentively, that uh, she told that if you are a good listener, then you can ask question. If you perceive, if you receive, if you grasp that content of the speaker, definitely you can ask the question. And that shows that you have listened attentively. Definitely it was a very useful one for the learners who are the beginners for in the career, or as a student. You'll be getting many doubts. Definitely all the queries of yours have been addressed promptly and sincerely by Professor Monica. On behalf of Padma Shri Institute of Management and Sciences and myself, and I extend a very heartfelt thanks to our dear colleague, Professor Monica, for having delivered a particular lecture on language competency or language skills in communication. So thank you so much, Monica, on behalf of the principal and the organizers and the participants. So I once again thank you for joining us today. And I thank the technical team, particularly Professor Akshay, who had supported us from the beginning to end and will be there with us for another 2 days. So thank you so much, Mr. Akshay and other technical team. I thank our beloved principal, ma'am, for encouraging us to conduct this kind of academic activities. Thank you, ma'am. On behalf of the participants and the organizers, I thank you for giving us an opportunity to have this workshop for 3 days, another 2 days. Thank you. And last but not least, I thank all the participants, student participants in particular, for joining us and making this event very successful. And I expect the same cooperation for another 2 more days. I thank each and every one of you for making this workshop very grand.